Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. We are headed into another Craft Galley Design Team project, but before we get into the fun, there is a giveaway we would like to share. So it is a $10 gift card to the Craft Galley shop, and in order to be entered into the giveaway, you just have to subscribe to the channel and then comment below and offer a suggestion of a technique or some sort of project that you would like to see us do for a design team project. And we'll announce the winner of that in next week's video. So that's both on my channel and the Craft Galley channel. Enter for your chance to win. Yay! You can go shopping. All right, so let's get into this project today. I am going to be making a shaker ornament card. So yes, I'm going to be doing all three of those things in one card. I have done an ornament card before and I've done a shaker card before, but never put them together. So thank you to a subscriber who offered that suggestion. So we will be doing that today. Okay, so I use this beautiful die, and it's great because it comes out in a few different parts. So what I'm going to be using from this die is the circle inlay, and that's with the little fence and the hill on it. And then separately, you could die cut the house, or if it's a barn to you, you can die cut that separate, as well as the trees and then the white overlay for the house or the church. It could be any one of those things. And so I'm just using some alcohol markers here and just with two different colors, getting a little bit of shading. Their images are pretty small, so it's not very easy to get tons and tons of different dimensions. So two colors should do just fine. In fact, one color would be good enough too. Okay, so now I've taken out a circle die in my stash that matches the size of the inner part to this die. And I am using, one background is going to be some cardstock that I have in my stash, which is this snowflake cardstock. And then the other I'm going to make my own in just a minute. And so I'm just trying to figure out how I want to lay things out. I end up mirroring exactly as the picture on the front of the die cover is, because I just really like the way that that looks. So I decided to just make my life simple and copy and share their idea. Here I am putting some glue on the back of my building, and I'm going to place that down on some white cardstock. And this is going to allow me to color in the window and the door, but then also if I were to just put that building straight down on the paper, you would see right through the door and the window right into the back of the pattern paper, and that's not what I wanted. So that's why you have to do this extra step here just to kind of place it down. Then you trim it up, and then I decided to do a little bit of coloring on there. So I chose a red door and I chose yellow marker for inside the windows just to look like there was light coming through. So on the other circle background that I'm going to do here, I am going to use some blueprint sketch and salty ocean, and I am just going to make a really pretty soft blue background. I didn't show this on tape, on video, but I actually did this again because the first time I did it, I put too many big water droplets and it looks splotchy, and so I didn't like that. I just went for the clean look of these two blue colors blending together. That's what I decided to end the card with. And so I'm going to use my circle die again, cut that out, and then use that same circle die to cut out two of the acetate sheets that are going to be for the shaker. So that's our next step. So our next step is we're going to put some liquid glue all around the back of our die cut, and then we're going to place the acetate sheet right over it and then place something heavy on top of that. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's a little slippery. I want it to be even, but I also need it to have some pressure in order for it to dry evenly and all the way around. And so that is what I did. Now I did get a little tiny bit of globby glue on the front of the acetate, but that comes up really simply, and you could just kind of remove it with your finger. Here is how I double up my foam tape. I glide my fingers down the foam tape so that it stays nice, flat, and even, because I don't like it when my foam tape gets bendy. And then I'm going to cut this down into strips. So I've cut it down to about maybe 3.5 inches across, and then see what I'm doing here is cutting them down into very, very, very thin strips. Now I know that Stampin' Up! And Doris sells really thin strips of foam tape. I just don't have any, and this is a good alternative to that, and it works just fine. Maybe takes another 20 seconds of work. So I am putting this foam tape around. This foam tape I'm a fan of it. It works really well, and I have, like I said, I doubled it up because I want a little bit more movement for my shaker bits, so my sequins and whatnot. And I'm just going to make sure to get the rounded ability on this foam tape, you're going to want to remove the backing on both sides, and that's going to let you maneuver your foam tape in any way, shape, and form. So just keep that in mind when you are trying to put down foam tape on rounded type of images. When it's a square shaker, it's super easy, but this, a little bit more complicated. And so then I'm going to fill up this card with foam tape everywhere that I possibly can. Okay, I have that down. Now I'm just going to pull off the backing, put my circle over it. That's very simple. I skipped that part. And then I'm going to put down parts to my scene. So I'm going to be adding my trees and my building. And I do show you again here with this other card how I put the chimney together. So I'm putting my building down, and then the little chimney comes cut out as well. Just want to make sure that you don't forget to color it. And so I'm putting that down. Tweezers are really helpful for putting down the white overlay of the building, and then also with the chimney, because they're really tiny pieces and my fingers are not that tiny. So these reverse tweezers are fantastic for that. And then we're just going to put that down. You can start to see these cards comes together. Now we need our base. Okay, so I'm going to take my circle die that is a little bit bigger than the ones I've used, and I'm going to cut out cardstock that's folded, and then these two colors. I have a navy and like a sky blue. Now I'm doing that because I folded over my card base. There's a line there at the top. Well, this circle die will get rid of that line completely, and now it looks very, very seamless. So you're just going to put that right down onto your card base, and voila, that little seam is gone, therefore leaving it seamless. All right, so once we get that down, we're going to attach our shaker part to the top of this card. I'm using liquid glue throughout the process here. And you want to make sure that you at least open up your card base one more time so you can make sure it's straight and on there perfectly, because if you don't, it's a circle and you're not going to be able to know which end is up. So I put that down, and then the very last thing that we need to do is we need to add some glue dots to the center of our ornament card, and that's going to hold in place the ribbon. Now, I've chose to use some silver ribbon from my stash. It's glittery, it's sparkly, I think it's pretty, and I'm just going to tie that in a double knot at the very top. So I would, as I was doing this, I realized I would probably like to tie my ribbon first and then put the glue dots down, just so that you can get your ribbon straight on the top. Just a little tip that's really not going to change the outcome at all, but it might help a little bit to straighten that up. Some picot embellishment here for my windows and for my door, just to give that a little bit of shine. I like how thin the picot is. And then some frosted lace stickles on the roof, as well as a little bit on the snowbank in front. And that is just going to offer a little bit of shimmer and sparkle and make it look icy. So I really love the way that that comes out. So there are the two cards I made with this wonderful die and into ornament shaker cards. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you were inspired to give this a try. If shaker cards intimidate you, please do not let them. They are not difficult. And after you get through the mechanism of making your first one, you're going to be a pro. So give it a go. Get out there and try it. Don't forget to head over to the shop. There's always awesome new stuff that she is adding to the shop. You're going to find some awesome deals. And let us know if you have any questions below. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.